Good evening, it's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Parkwisi Asari. And coming up in the next 60 minutes.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Within the pocket of the incident that has happened, the few ones that is not arrested will come for you, and you know that we're ready to come for you. Because we will not allow anybody, be it individual or a group, to disturb the peace of this country.
Inspector General of Police Dr. Akufu Dampari says Election Security Task Force will be ruthless to enforce public order and rule of law during the December 7 elections.
NDC expresses relief and optimism following withdrawal by independent candidate Peter Kwachi-Aka from their Memphis Central constituency.
Still ahead on the program tonight, latest strike by TEWU is beginning to have a toll on some senior high schools as kitchen staff abandon post.
In business news, Minerals Commission reveals that the rate of casualties in the mining sector has decreased by 50%.
Elsewhere on the international front, Russia says Ukraine has fired US-supplied long-range missiles into the country a day after Washington gave its permission. We've got details of all these stories, plus many more coming up in the next 60 minutes. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can join us with your views, comments, and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on X.
This is your Election Command Center. The NDC has expressed relief and optimism following Peter Kwachi-Aka's decision to withdraw his bid as an independent candidate from the Memphis Central constituency. NDC Deputy General Secretary Mustapha Bande hailed the move as a positive step for the party, attributing it to the concerted effort of the party's leadership in Parliament.
In Ghana's political landscape, internal party disputes can shift electoral dynamics, and the Memphis Central constituency is no exception. MP Peter Kwachi-Aka found himself at the heart of controversy after losing the NDC parliamentary primaries in May 2023 to Joanna Jan Kujo. Alleging unfair treatment, Kwachi-Aka announced his decision to run as an independent candidate for the December 2024 elections, a move that strained relationships with his party and constituents. His decision contributed to wider debate about parliamentary stability, sparking controversy over the constitutionality of carpet crossing. Legal proceedings shaped the course of events. On November 11, injunctions against Joanna Jan Kujo's candidacy were dismissed, solidifying her place as the NDC's nominee. The court's ruling and consultations with party elders prompted Kwachi-Aka to reconsider his decision. On November 18, he officially withdrew his independent bid. Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustapha Bande, described Peter Kwachi-Aka's decision to withdraw his independent candidacy as a positive development for the party.
Very commendable that it's been what the party have always tried to prevail on. But as human beings, each and everyone has how they conceive and receive issues and process them. And so given his own timing, he's decided to bow out. He's welcome back into the party. We respect him as such, as a sitting outgoing member of parliament.
He credited the outcome to the strategic efforts of the NDC's parliamentary leadership.
Let me commend Honorable Atuforsen and his team, all individuals who have been involved to ensure that he actually get to understand the implication of his action and to have accepted to step down.
Bande emphasized that the next step for Kwachi-Aka would be to fully rally behind Joanna Jan Kujo, the party's parliamentary candidate for the Memphis Central constituency, to ensure unity and a consolidated campaign heading into the 2024 elections.
After stepping down, it will be required that we will all go together and campaign. We want to see him join to campaign for His Excellency President Mahama and also try to campaign for the parliamentary candidate, which is a standard that the party have set.
Meanwhile, the opposition National Democratic Congress says it will petition the Inspector General of Police and the Chief of Defense Staff to investigate alleged plots by the New Patriotic Party to rig the December elections through Central Commanding Officer Brigadier General Michael Opoku. At a news conference, the party said its intelligence had uncovered actionable plans to cause chaos during the general elections.
According to the NDC, Brigadier General Michael Opoku's promotion from the rank of colonel despite masterminding the Ayawasuwa's Wogon by-election violence is evidence of the government's sinister ploy. They allege his appointment to head the Central Command is a deliberate plan by the NPP to rig votes in the Ashanti region.
In his current position, Brigadier General Opoku has been mandated by President Akufo-Addo to take charge of a well-crafted scheme that has been designed by the NPP to rig the upcoming elections, particularly in the Ashanti region. Through ballot stuffing, swapping of ballot boxes, swapping of pink sheets, and other clandestine activities, starting with a special voting exercise scheduled for December 2nd of this year.
For the opposition party, Brigadier General Michael Opoku must be removed from office.
Given his history, we in the NDC call for his immediate removal from his position as General Officer Commanding of the Central Command. And miscreants like that should not be allowed anywhere near the security architecture for the impending 2024 general elections. The NDC wishes to serve notice, and notice is hereby served, to Brigadier General Michael Opoku and his ilk in the New Patriotic Party, that we have them under our radar.
The party says it will petition the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, among other persons, for investigations to be conducted.
Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II. We will officially draw his attention to these developments because the headquarters of the operation of this guy is Kumasi. And I know that the Otumfuo cherishes the peace that the people of Kumasi and the Ashanti region enjoy. And he will want to take an interest into this matter and call this guy to order. But not just him, our external developmental partners will also be notified. And so the observers will be notified, the foreign missions will be notified. That is not to say that we will stop at that. No, we are going into the election with all the necessary precautions. Like Azuma Nelson, we are going with our referee in our pockets. And what we will do to make sure that they don't succeed is not a matter for public consumption.
In more news tonight, there's growing anger among some traditional rulers in the Achim and Achim enclave of the eastern region regarding what they describe as the maladministration of the Akufo-Addo government. Komla Kluche has been interacting with residents.
John Mahama began his second day of campaign in the eastern region in Asinin Mansu Akroso. Unrelenting, the chief was blunt.
No kwaro ona kan wenya time na media enemy si me bumaka. Me time ra. A free 1992. Nanka dollar ye 2 cedis, 4 cedis, $1. And the system ye kan mo mo yanka. 2 cedis, 4 cedis $1, and 16 cedis $1. Do I eko ye? Economy na say.
He then proceeded to Achiase. Once more, not holding back, the chief bared his teeth.
Okwaje wa home kakrenti ekwan no sesei akoyese sabi obi a wari bese no fra nwura no atia to abankwa mu menim se ehuro ni deda mempanifo ne mrantia ne nananom ye hia wei enye huro keke na ye huro le mom ye huro ni ato abapa na abano susu a ye kwoto no ya bosha ni se tafia kwa ya to skirt and blouse da.
John Mahama and the NDC's quest to have favorable numbers in the eastern region remains critical to them.
And now I know say Jobu so ho omo mbehwe abato no so ye hu say ebi ye MPP for electoral commission afa omo say omo embetena se enhwe abato no so ebetimi aye sir enti na emre bia ase yetata omo enye se yetan omo enso ye pese omo ye omadwuma yie.
The Central Ranch then moved to Oda in Akim Swedru constituency. The expectation of the NDC is to increase its votes and shore up its numbers. The NDC flag bearer also campaigned in Ofuasia, Yerebi, Kade, and Akwetia constituencies. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Akimoda.
Of course, this is your election command center. Now, let's go to the camp of the New Patriotic Party now, where the flag bearer, Dr. Mohamed Bawumia, has promised the people of Ahafo and North Southwest of extending electricity to communities in the area if voted into power. Addressing stakeholders, he appealed to the people to vote for him for his developmental projects to take place.
Dr. Bawumia was welcomed by the chiefs, Muslim clerics and clergy into the constituency. Speaking to them, he promised to embark on developmental projects when voted into power.
Baba Avano Southwest, Abe Buakunta, Abe Chiremu, Kwaya Maye, Enyasa, Abe Chiremu schools are messy, Abe Chiremu electricity meaning say, Krobebri here electricity. Ewo constituency. Meba Abe Chire. Ejuma ayaye edi electricity akomiamia bibri ho. Inti media minim se meba bebu akunta inti meyire me ho abo ejuma din amamo.
Later, the NPP flag bearer addressed party faithful at the Bawumia Connect. He said under his presidency, he will provide support for small-scale miners and ensure that they are well-resourced to help them do their work.
Bank bar for miners. Minerals Development Bank. A bank for miners because muhia efidia mudibeye jumano bank no bema musikana mwato sa efidie no good mining equipment bank said ya agric development bank ama ikuafo no minerals development bank yedibeshishe ama small scale miners and miners in this country ya ne sanoa ebebua mu ejumano me pese muye millionaires. I want you to be millionaires.
The Ghana Police Service has pledged to go after persons who engage in violent acts to destabilize the peace in the country during the December 7 elections. Inspector General of Police Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare says the Election Security Task Force will be ruthless if need be to enforce public order and rule of law.
A promise that will not be broken and a force that is determined to deliver on its mandate. The police say they will crack down on election offenders and persons who plan to destabilize the country during and even after the December 7 elections. With a high-level security detail in plan, the police say they may be ruthless in ensuring rule of law and public order.
We will engage where we want to engage. We will de-escalate where we want to de-escalate. But when we have to be ruthless in the enforcement of the law, within the context of rule of law, we will stop at nothing. For how far can you run? For how long can you hide? Because we will not forget you. Because when we forget you, we give you the opportunity to come back and do the things that you do again. So as long as we have booked you in our records, that you are somebody we are looking for, we will pursue you until we find you. Because we will not allow anybody, be it individual or a group, to disturb the peace of this country.
The Inspector General of Police is confident that the measures put in place, especially the election blueprint, will help to mainstream security in the polls. He highlighted a detailed deployment plan, assuring that the National Election Security Task Force is adequately ready to conduct the elections.
Using the same blueprint, the work we've done so far has led to the production of 5,400-page security deployment plan, covering every aspect of security for the elections. We, the security agencies, we are ready, well prepared. We do whatever it takes to protect the peace, security of this country.
Civil society organizations, including IDEC and the Civic Forum Initiative, are satisfied with the measures put in place by the police and other security agencies.
We want to assure our brothers and sisters Ghanaians that from our part, we are convinced that the police is prepared and willing to deliver their bit in security terms towards the peace and the success of our impending election.
The police have encouraged Ghanaians to go about their regular duties on the election day, pointing out the fact that collation centers would be secured from unlawful entry. Christian Yali, TV3 News, Police Headquarters, Accra.
Some good news for motorists because President Akufo-Addo has commissioned the newly built Flower Pot interchange near the Spintex Road here in Accra. Speaking during a ceremony, the president said his government has built more interchanges and flyovers than any government in history.
We do apologize for the loss of sound. Now, the latest strike by the Teachers and Education Workers Union TEWU is beginning to have a toll on some senior high schools. A visit to the Brigel Senior High School reveals school authorities have had to find alternative means to feed their students as kitchen staff have gone on strike. A report by Judith Brown.
I'm currently here at the Brigel Senior High School in the Eastern Region, following an anonymous tip from a concerned parent over claims the students went without food on November 18 due to a strike by kitchen staff. While our investigations following interactions with some parents right here at the school revealed that indeed there was no food provided on the evening of the said date. A mother revealed that this affected only Form 2 students. But while we can confirm now that food has been made available for the students, it's still unclear the status of the strike action by kitchen staff in the school. Sources have also revealed that the kitchen staff are members of the Teachers and Educational Workers Union, which is currently on strike. TEWU began its strike on November 18 in response to what they say is government's persistent failure to address long-standing concerns regarding their conditions of service. And with such an industrial action, it is clearly evident that the Brigel Senior High School students are probably not the only ones bearing the brunt.
We contacted the Ghana Education Service on the matter, and although authorities are refusing to speak on camera, they tell me their officers have been sent on the ground to observe the situation in order to determine their next line of action.
For now, it is unclear how this strike will affect this and many other schools in the coming days. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
A reminder, still watching News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. We're streaming live on Facebook, also live on your DSTV channel 279. The Supreme Court has set December 18 to deliver judgment on the human sexual rights and family values suit after over 8 months of court hearings. Lord Edwasari catalogues events that have preceded, the case.
On February 28, 2024, Parliament passed the Human and Sexual Rights and Families Values Bill, also known as the Anti-LGBTQ Bill, a bipartisan private members bill. The bill was subsequently forwarded to the President for assent. But on March 5, broadcast journalist and private legal practitioner Richard Delasky challenged the bill. He contended it violated Article 108 of the 1992 Constitution, which stipulates that any bill before Parliament which would have an impact on the Consolidated Fund should be introduced by or on behalf of the President. Another suit by researcher Dr. Amanda Odoy sought an injunction preventing Parliament from forwarding the bill to the President. In response, President Akufo-Addo, after receiving the bill, said he would not assent until the final determination at the Supreme Court. In July, while hearing the injunction application, the Apex Court deferred its decision to hear the substantive case. Upon resumption of the legal year in October, Proponents of the bill, led by Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram, Samuel Nate George, took to the streets to protest the delays in the hearing of the cases. But the judiciary in response noted in a statement that the prolonged delays were as a result of the failures of the parties' filing processes required. In court on Tuesday, a 7-member panel of justices directed lawyers for the Attorney General and Speaker of Parliament to file their responses after granting the request of the plaintiff's lawyer to amend his statement of case. The court then adjourned proceedings to December 18 for the final determination. Lawyer for Richard Delaskai, Pakwesi Abedu, expressed satisfaction with the development in court.
We have indicated that by Section 100, subsection 1 of that law, the financial impact assessment report should have been attached. Then we have gone further to show that by even a subsidiary legislation, and that is LI 1373, that report should have been attached, and Regulation 12 of that law, that report should have been attached. So the presiding justice of the Supreme Court said that in that regard, it would be good if we indicate it in our statement of case. And that is what we've been asked to do between today and 22nd. And we promise the whole nation that we'll keep to that deadline.
So joining us on the phone lines right now is MP for Ningo Pram and lead advocate for the bill, Sam Nate George. Sam George, thank you very much for your time, Honourable. First of all, December 18 for judgment. Does this satisfy you?
Well, it just proves the point everybody has been suspecting, that the Supreme Court, led by the Chief Justice, Promotional, is playing to the gallery to please the whims and caprices of President Akufo-Addo. It's being tried knowledge and an open secret that President Akufo-Addo is pro-LGBTQ and does not want to sign this bill because of his affiliation with homosexuality and his position on the bill. And you have a Chief Justice who is extremely pliant.
Sam George, hold on. Sam George.
If you're interviewing me, you let me make my point.
Yes, but you said the president's affiliation with homosexuality. I don't think you know exactly what you're trying to say there. Do you want to retract that statement? I'd appreciate that.
Why would I retract that statement? The president's own cousin is in fact the president's uncle or cousin, who is the son of J.P. Dankwa, called Paul Dankwa, whom the president stayed with when he went to Oxford. It's celebrated as one of the 100 billion of homosexuality in the world.
Sam George.
If you don't want me to speak facts, then don't interview.
No, I just want you to stay. I want you to stay true to the discussion and not to make any allegations that you cannot prove. I will not allow you to.
I am mentioning specifics. Specifics are not allegations. Paul Dankwa is buried by his gay lover in Morocco.
Sam George, my question to you tonight is, are you satisfied with the Supreme Court's decision to make a ruling on this matter on December 18?
And my response to you, whether you like it or it doesn't please you, is that I am not surprised that the Chief Justice is seeking to please our pro-LGBTQ president. He is the very person who told the LGBTQ community that if they put enough pressure, LGBTQ will be accepted in Ghana. And after that, a year later, you saw the LGBTQ community open an advocacy office here. Why don't you want us to call a spade a spade? Our president supports homosexuality.
Sam George.
That's why he's running away from signing the bill.
Sam George, I'm not going to allow you to. Sam George, unfortunately, I cannot allow you to make these allegations against the president.
I'm not making allegations.
Sam George, I need you to stay true to the discussion. I'm afraid we would have to end the interview here. Thank you very much, Samuel Nate George, for your time.
Let's return to our earlier story. And President Akufo-Addo has commissioned the newly built Flowerport interchange near Spinkters Road, Accra. Speaking during the ceremony, the president said his government has built more interchanges and flyovers than any government in history.
The flyover and motorway interchange project was designed to complement the newly completed underpass and serve as an alternate route for north-south movement. The project has undergone several revisions and now features an 802-meter span flyover starting at the Palace Mall off Sprinters Road and ending at Boundary Road in East Legon. Commissioning the project, the president branded himself as the master of interchanges among all other presidents.
This administration has constructed more roads and interchanges than any other in our nation's history. The Flower Pot interchange is a legacy for future generations. I call on all Ghanaians to join hands in safeguarding this asset, ensuring that it serves its purpose. I also urge motorists to exercise caution. Let us prioritize safety, respect road regulations, and nurture a driving culture that reflects our aspirations as a nation.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister Titus Glover warned against putting up illegal structures around the interchange.
To the people of Greater Accra, this interchange stands as a symbol of progress and resilience. It is also a reminder that as we continue to build, innovate, and improve, we also share the responsibility to maintain and use these resources wisely.
Roads and Highways Minister is Francis Asensuboche.
The Flower Pot interchange is therefore a comprehensive solution to these long-standing traffic challenges, providing relief from congestion that has plagued this location for years.
Other features of the flyover include ramps onto the motorway, improvement at the Flower Pot runabout approaches on Sprinters Road, and access through the old tunnel to East Legon. The new flyover is expected to reduce congestion at the Flower Pot intersection along Sprinters Road and provide a direct route between Accra East, Burma Camp and its surrounding areas, and East Legon, and vice versa. The project, however, is not fully completed as contractors are still on site working towards full completion.
Let's now go to the Upper East region, where the Talensi constituency, which is currently being held by NDC's BT Baba for almost 2 terms, is going to be keenly contested by new faces from the NDC and the NPP against the PNC's Dr. Michael Wambiogo, who has been contesting since 2008 but not successful. Let's now cross over and speak to our Upper East regional correspondent, Tanko Mohammed Rabiu. Tanko, thank you so much for your time. What is the mood in the constituency ahead of the polls?
Yes, thank you very much, Osha. The mood in the Talensi constituency is a charged one. Then most constituents, or especially new voters, are divided on what to vote, on who to vote, because the main political parties, the NDC and the NDC, are bringing new faces. That is Robert Alibo of the NPP, and then Daniel Dang Mahama of the NDC. But the PSC candidates have been contested since 2008. That's Dr. Wambiogo. So residents or constituents are divided on what who to vote, depending on what the messages that these candidates are bringing on board. And most of them are saying that they are going to vote based on the candidates' ability to initiate projects that will utilize the resources of the constituency. When you look at the constituency, it's endowed with gold deposits, and that is the largest gold deposit in West Africa, and then the largest in Ghana. When it comes to tourism, Talensi is known for its tourism potential. That is a single shrine. So these constituents are looking forward for any candidates who will at least use this opportunity to address the issue in Parliament, to give them back what they need in terms of development from these resources and then tourism.
All right. Tanko, thank you so much for your time. And Tanko Mohammed Rabiu is our Upper East regional correspondent.
When you're still watching News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. Keep your comments coming in. Let's know what you make of our major stories tonight. Visiting our social media pages on Facebook and on X. We'll go for a short break. We have more stories coming up.
You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smile.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal. Pepsodent.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN,
West Hills Ridge Property, Eden Heights.
Hello there and welcome to the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obdu. Now, the Minerals Commission has reported a more than 50% decline in casualties within Ghana's mining sector in 2024 compared to the previous year. Speaking at the Ghana Chamber of Mines 2024 Safety Performance Award ceremony, Deputy Chief Inspector of Mines John Amwenyi stated that the goal is to attain zero casualties the following year.
In terms of fatal injuries, so last year we recorded 7, but this year we recorded 3, which is far improvement because we are talking about death. So 7 people dying, and then this year 3 people, even though it's not good, because we always aim at zero death. But I think it's an improvement. And then we are aiming that next year we maintain the zero prediction, we should maintain the zero prediction. And before we can also achieve these things, we need to look at your safety management system, as we have narrated. So if you are able to do that one, I think it's possible. It's possible that we achieve the zero injury.
Social Enterprises Ghana is advocating for the creation of a technical and vocational education and training TVET fund to support businesses driving job creation in the sector. Speaking to 3 Business on the sidelines of the Ghana Social Enterprises Forum 2024, the Executive Director Edwin Zukujo argues that with adequate investment, TVET could play a pivotal role in tackling the country's growing unemployment crisis.
I think government, with its many policies, including the free secondary school as well as TVET education, its apprenticeship policy, and of course, even the TVET policy are well in the direct ways of supporting us in creating opportunities in the TVET space. What we want to see a lot more is the promotion of collaboration with the private sector to promote a lot more workplace experience learning for young people, where government can incentivize various private sector players, either through tax waivers for those who are engaging young people for a period of time through the work experience. Then, of course, a lot of the infrastructure, equipment, and tools that are needed by private sector organizations to be able to take on young people and employ them. Government needs to work with the private sector, providing funds. We call them TVET funds, a fund that is structured to invest into companies that are employing young people with TVET skills.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Up next, the sports.
Under the MPP, we have arrested the rapid depreciation of the city.
A nose-diving currency.
Why are you running?
Which has rather arrested the person who said he would arrest, he had arrested it.
I understand.
The dollar has rather arrested him. And so we're looking for him, we can't find him. I asked the IGP if he had the key so that we could find where Vice President was, and he said he doesn't have it.
I understand. I'm still amazed by the stuff that comes out of your mouth.
Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Hey guys. So, I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is, I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Chale, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay, and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
I'm a Ghanaian, and I love luxury accredited faith, and I love democracy.
December 7th, Ghana is voting.
Only peace. Peace, I give it to you all.
I love Ghana.
Peaceful election before, during, and after.
One Ghana.
Peace. Peace to everybody.
One Ghana. Ghana.
This message brought to you from the luxury accredited faith.
Dead spices. Taste day inside. But dead spices here what Jenny say. Nanya good taste. If we say yeah the natural spices and yeah Ghana hey yao. Ane you want all purpose stew, noodles, curry and nutmeg and a jollof. Dead spices. Taste yummy. Taste lemon. Dead spices. Taste day inside. FDIG a jedi in kratoya too.
All be lie.
Thank you, boss. See you next week. Yo, where do my passport? Where is my passport? Yo, man, I want to Waba.
What's up,
And then it's special.
Give me my passport. You made me pay for express for 24 hours, and yet it's not in.
You told me that you are telling me this.
What's going on? Hello.
This man here has taken my money. That within 24 hours, he'll do my passport for me.
Oh, see, the same thing applies to me. He told me last night. He's telling me this week.
Process. That's what they do.
Yeah. Oh, madam. Please relax. I'll get for you in 24 hours.
Hey, Goroma. So you never change? Eh? You get passport for someone within 24 hours, Madam Obwa. See, the normal working hours is 9 to 5. Eh? Not 24 hours, yeah, I'm fat. You guys have made a very big mistake by trusting these people. Now, through digitalization, passport application has been made so easy. Now, you don't need to stress yourself and join any long queue for your passport. All you have to do is to log on to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website and begin your application.
Sir.
By buying a passport application voucher online. Simple and easier. And very soon, all you need to get your passport will be your Ghana card.
What is it true?
Yeah, Obisa. It is possible.
Essuroho, boot number 1 on the ballot.
Sanlam and Allianz is now Sanlam Allianz, Africa's largest insurer.
The second Ghana Health Service Excellence Award comes off under the distinguished patronage of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, as special guest of honor, and the Gaman Chair, His Royal Majesty King Takite Kotur II. Come, let's salute and celebrate our health heroes for their gallant contributions towards saving lives and making our nation healthy and strong. Date 20th November 2024. Venue the Grand Arena, Accra International Conference Center, Accra. Theme: Sustaining Partnerships for Effective and Efficient Healthcare Delivery. For sponsorship, contact 0277 411 075 or 0244 125 314. Ghana Health Service Excellence Awards, celebrating our health heroes, our lifeline.
Darling natural twists blend with her hair over time.
Yeah, that's perfect.
She's really more beautiful every week. Darling natural twists get better every day, just like you.
Dr. Baumia once said,
Every constituency will get $1 million every year for rural and deprived communities. Under this program, there should be no village or community in Ghana after the first 2 years that would have a water problem or a toilet problem.
Next joke, please. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Colgate Herbal is formulated from a unique blend of natural herbs, scientifically proven to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal, scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Oreku Ampofo. Former Ghana international Laye Kingston has urged Ghanaians to remain calm and rally behind Black Stars head coach Otto Addo amidst calls for the coach's dismissal after the team's failure to qualify for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations for the first time since 2004. Now, despite the team's poor run of form, despite the team's poor run of form under Otto Addo, Kingston believes that changing the coaches would lead to a disaster ahead of the World Cup qualifiers.
For me, at the moment, we shouldn't change anything at the moment. You know, for me, I think Otto is even disappointed in himself, and I believe by now he's trying to ask himself questions about what really happened and what I can do to improve it, what I can do to make sure I bring results to the team. You know, so for me, if we go now and change the coach or the technical team and bring new faces, it will be a disaster. I think we should allow him to at least finish the World Cup qualifiers, and then after that we make decision as a country.
Meanwhile, Black Stars team manager Aminu Shado has insisted the results from Ghana's qualifying campaign did not mirror the team's performances. You're speaking earlier on Happy FM.
Results have not been forthcoming. But if you look at the performance of the team in most of the games, we performed better than the results that we got. If we are going to be honest and be factual to happenings. I mean, first game boy against Angola, did anything suggest to you say it was a losing game, Nana? When you pipe down the emotion, now we'll come more deeper and look at that, analyze the games, just the games. If the performance of the team in the games all the games that we played is anything to go by, like I was a topic group, no, by performance, unless you want to be blind to the facts.
Well, still on the Black Stars, where Otto Addo has come under immense scrutiny in the past few hours after Ghana failed to make it to the AFCON. Now, here are some fans and some reactions from Ghanaians on Otto's role as head coach going forward.
So looking at Addo's performance, I think he should be kept because he's performing better in the World Cup than the AFCON. I think the Ghana team does not need another coach. They only need a teamwork.
Because they don't do anything. If the systems don't do that, you don't go feel work. That one there, because GFA, the president, they get them connection for them. So the coach, you don't go feel do anything better. Then for sack the GFA president, you can get somebody better for them. Make them bring that person.
It's not even to handle. It's the whole management.
And so those were some views of some Ghanaians. But before we go, let's get the full complement of the 24 teams that would be in Morocco next December for the Africa Cup of Nations. And the big story today is that the likes of Botswana have sealed qualification after their 1-0 draw with Egypt in Cairo to ensure that they make their second ever appearance at the competition. There will also be teams like Zimbabwe, Equatorial Guinea, Sudan from Ghana's group, and Morocco, who are the host of the competition. Well, that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Oreku Ampofo.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
My head really aches. Feeling cold and feverish.
Sorry. I know the solution to your problem. It is Procode.
Procode? I bought some 3 days ago, but I'm not seeing any improvement. You can even have a look.
Let me look at it. This is fake. Let's go to the drugstore. Please, we want Procode. No, not this.
Oh, but this does the same work, and it's even far cheaper.
No, we insist you give us Procode from Kojak. I don't understand why people give
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil, powered by 3 Entertainment.
Welcome to the Entertainment news segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu. I'm the president of the Ghana Academy of Film and Television Arts. Dr. Jim Farah Window says the lack of proper regulation within the film industry is hampering its growth. He challenged the National Film Authority, NFA, and other industry associations to hold their members in check and demand quality from them.
According to Dr. Jim Awindo, the unstructured nature of the local film industry has opened a tap to many people who don't take the craft seriously to flood the space.
People come out and just say they're filmmakers. You see, filmmaking is a serious craft. It's like surgery. If you make the least mistake, the fellow will die. If you make the least mistake, your audience will die. Why am I saying the audience will die? People are imbibing content from whatever you're showing, good or bad. So if it's bad, you can imagine the influence.
As a body dedicated to the advancement of the art, craft and science of the motion picture industry, he noted the GAFTA is concerned about the decline in the standard in film productions.
The time that GFIC was gone and people couldn't get their films evaluated, tested, and shown on GFIC films, people started doing whatever they wanted to because now there was nobody to tell them that your thing cannot cut. Your film, the story is not too well, so go and take some shots and come back. Because that's what Ghana Films was doing to all those filmmakers that were coming up. So they had the chance to tell better stories.
He challenged the National Film Authority, the organization responsible for regulating, promoting and supporting the film industry in Ghana, to show direction to help elevate standards in the local movie industry.
That's where even government's direction even comes in, or national directions comes in. If there's a film fund, you know, government can say that, look, we are putting in this money inside the film fund, or it's a public fund that we are putting in money there. But we want the money to do these kinds of films, value-oriented films and that kind of thing. If you have that story, come and take money. You are showing direction. You know, so MFA is supposed to regulate what's going on.
Dr. Wendell further urged the various guilds and industry associations to hold their members in check and demand quality from them.
And still in entertainment, but on the foreign front, embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been breaking prison rules by contacting potential witnesses in his upcoming sex trafficking trial, prosecutors have alleged. The music mogul is accused of making relentless efforts to corruptly influence a witness testimony by using other inmates' telephone accounts and using three-way calls to speak to people who are not on his approved contact list. That's all for the entertainment news segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Anita. Coming up, international news.
Russia says Ukraine has fired US-supplied long-range missiles into the country a day after Washington gave its permission for such attacks. Ukraine used the Army Tactical Missile System ATACMS in a strike on Russia's Bryansk region this morning, the Ministry of Defense in Moscow said. 5 missiles were shot down and 1 damaged, with its fragments causing a fire at a military facility in the region. The strike represents the first time the long-range missiles have been used on Russia's internationally recognized territory after Washington signaled Ukraine had permission to do so. Russia has vowed to react accordingly. A Hong Kong court has sentenced dozens of pro-democracy leaders to years in jail for subversion following a controversial national security trial. Benny Tai, 60, Joshua Wong, 28, were among the so-called Hong Kong 47 group of activists and lawmakers who were involved in a plan to pick opposition candidates for local elections.
That's how we conclude News 360. Thanks very much for watching. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Pa Kwesi Asari.
And I am Portia Gabodu. Join Alfredo Kansa at 10 p.m. from Ghana tonight. Good evening.